What a time that was. We just got done streaming the USA versus Canada gold medal match for the women's. What an electric overtime period. We had to go live for overtime. So if you didn't see our reaction, you can go see our reaction there. And we'll get more thoughts about the game on this podcast. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the quarterfinals for the men and the semifinals that are coming up today as you're listening to this on Friday, February 20th. Medals are up for grabs for the men, but the medals have all been handed out for the women. I am your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Savannah Humoller. How are we today?
We're doing great. You know what? USA women's hockey comes back at the end of the third period with 2 minutes left, scores to tie up the game against their rival Canada, takes it into OT, and they get their gold medal with a game winner from Megan Keller. Insane. Our reactions, yes, definitely go check those out. But I'm feeling great just based on the fact that this incredible US women's hockey team takes home a gold medal against Canada. It's insane.
It was a run for the ages for the U.S. women. Obviously, only allowed 2 goals throughout the entire Olympics. I don't know how many games they played. They played a lot of games. That's absurd. Just for 2 goals for an entire single Olympics. Just a single Olympics, only 2 goals allowed. Insane. I mean, they were killing teams 5-0, 6-0, 5-1, 5-0, 6-0. Like, they just kept going. And then, of course, the gold medal match had to give us, like, something to be nervous about with this team, I guess. Like, it just, that's sports, you know? You think it's going to be easy. You think it's going to be a coast. And all of a sudden, you're down 1-0 with 37 minutes left in the game. And for almost 37 full minutes, they were down until Hillary Knight got that tip off of a faceoff from the point, and the rest is history in overtime. Like, what a game that was. It was a hard-fought game between the U.S. and Canada.
And just to even hit on some of those additional points of what this team has done during this Olympics, they've outscored their opponents 31-1. They have had every single game 5 or more goals outside of this gold medal game today, which obviously it was just that 1-1 situation at the end of the third period. But this team has been dominating the entire tournament. They've been perfect on their PK throughout the entire tournament. They have not allowed a power play goal. This was the team to get the job done. Amazing job from USA Hockey putting this team together. And just what this group has done. We've obviously talked about Hannah Bilka, the Texas local, who's been outstanding throughout the Olympics. And then you have Megan Keller in there that's getting their game-winning goal for that gold medal game. There's so many outstanding players on this roster, and they're walking away with gold medals out of this. And it's great to see this. Their last gold medal was in 2018. So this is awesome to see them come back and get it 8 years later.
Yeah, just an unreal run, and something that makes me happy is seeing that the sport of hockey is like grown in the in America. Like, it's just cool because, like, growing up, I grew up in Alabama, in North Alabama, and there was a hockey rink and there was a AAA team there. Like, hockey was kind of prevalent in my friend group. There was a handful of guys that I was friends with that played hockey. I wanted to play hockey, but, like, I go to school in Birmingham. I go to school in Mississippi State. And then all of a sudden, like, no one plays hockey. And they're just like, what's hockey? Don't watch it. Don't care. It doesn't matter. But then you see the women go out here and win gold. You see the men over here now guaranteed to play in a medal game here over the weekend. Like, it's grown a lot in this country, and it's getting more accessible. There's more rinks. There's more places for people to go play and learn how to skate and learn how to play with stick and puck. And I think that's the cool part about this, is because a bunch of girls just watch this, like 8-10-year-old girls are watching this gold medal match if they got to come home from school a little bit earlier, because it is during the school day. But if they got to watch that game, they're going to go, hey, I want to go learn how to play hockey. I want to be like Megan Keller. I want to be like Hannah Bilka. If you're from Texas here in DFW, you can go play hockey pretty much anywhere. So it's super accessible now, and I think it's only going to grow in popularity, which is really cool for us because we love the sport. We want more people to play the sport, and we want more gold medal matches like that. That was a blast.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that there's a lot of youth programs now these days that get kids way more involved in hockey, and even specifically girls, and teaching them how to play hockey. And even Dallas, they do offer that. So you can check out some of those even at local Dallas Star Centers. They do offer some of those programs for young girls, for anyone out there that has kids, specifically girls that are interested in playing hockey. It's awesome to see the growth of it. And I believe that really this Olympics has brought a lot of eyes to the sport as a whole. I think Four Nations did a really good job of teeing that up last year, especially when it comes to the men's tournament. And it's just been a more talked about sport, I feel like, in the past few years than in previous years. And it's great to see that growth, but it's awesome to see this women's team go in and get a gold medal. And we had talked about, we're not really sure about the distribution of medals, how that works yet. I'm sure that's something that we'll see here, if not today, in the next coming days. So those girls are up there with their teammates getting those gold medals, and it's a really awesome moment for them. It's an awesome moment for the sport of hockey as a whole.
Big shout out to Hillary Knight. Obviously, game tying goal there. Tip off of a face off play, straight from the point. Just a hell of a tip, hell of a goal to get with about, 2.5 minutes left in the game in the third period. Getting the tip, getting the goal. Got engaged right before this game, basically, like a few days ago. Has the game tying goal in the gold medal match, and then gets a gold in her last Olympics with her 16th Olympic goal, which I believe is the most in USA history for the Olympics for women. So shout out to Hillary. What a way to go out. Shout out to Hannah Bilka, Texas's own future Clean Sheet of Ice guest. We're just going to speak that into existence. Hannah Bilka, please come on the pod. We would love to see the gold medal won and to talk about your experience, what the dorms were like, the Olympic Village. Love to hear it all. But shout out to the women. Taking home gold is huge. Taking home silver would have been sick too, but taking home gold just feels that much better.
Hey, and against Canada at that, the rival. So this was a really, really fun matchup to watch, and super exciting times for the girls. And, what I also think we've been blessed with is a lot of overtime hockey in the last 48 hours. Can we just get into that?
Oh, man.
Overtime is just, the blood pressure is raised, but it's been some great stuff to watch.
Yeah, thanks to everyone into the live stream on, I guess yesterday, Wednesday, as we're recording this Thursday right after the gold medal match for the women. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We want to give away this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead at 250 subscribers. We're a little over 220 now, so we're getting really close to the 250 mark. We want to give that away. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live stream like we just did a random one. Didn't even announce it before. Just went live. That can happen sometimes. If shit just happens, we're going to go live sometimes, all right? But obviously our Monday, Wednesday, Friday pods don't change. Our other happy hours you'll hear about. But hit that notification bell so you never miss a minute. Yesterday was chaos. We streamed, obviously, during the U.S. game for the entirety of it through overtime. Absolute chaos. But then you have the Canada-Czech game, and you have the Finland game, and it was just chaos from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. yesterday. And I'm very thankful that we got really good overtime hockey and just stressful hockey, because the group stage was not that. It was the opposite of stressful hockey for the most part. And we got 3 incredibly stressful games with 3 teams that we kind of care about. I don't know about Canada. We care about in that team for the Dallas Stars North. We want them to win. And then the U.S., obviously our country, we're going to root for them as hard as we can. So 3 incredible overtime games in a row, back to back to back, was just absolutely nutty.
It was a great day of hockey yesterday, and I didn't really tune in so much to the Slovakia-Germany game. They did obviously kind of blow that one out of the water. Slovakia coming in with a win 6-2 against Germany. So they solidified their place in that semifinal. What we really started to engage with was that Canada-Czechia game. Now that was pretty crazy. Just the fact that Czechia was able to kind of hold their own throughout that game, and it came down right to the very end, and then that one goes into overtime. It's just been unbelievable. And, just watching that game as a whole with Martin Netjes, who we talked about, who is just an incredible player. He's second in the Stars right now as far as points go. He's been outstanding for Czechia, and he almost had it there against Canada, and then they were able to come back and secure their victory there in overtime. So what a game from them. What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, you mentioned that Nate is the one-on-one with the goaltender. Essentially, he has Devon Taves on his right side, which is his shot. So he had to go backhand, and he just didn't really get a good shot on it, is really what it came down to. There's great defense by Taves to block off his forehand and make him go backhand. Maybe he's not as comfortable with that. Maybe he wasn't as comfortable going full speed and trying to get the backhand up. And then, obviously, Andre Deplat just he makes all the goals happen at the right time. Like, he did it for the Lightning. Right. He does it for Czechs. Like, you go up 3-2. Right. The bench, when the Czechs scored that third goal to go up 3-2, with 8 minutes left, you would have thought that they won the gold medal at that moment in time. And that's what the Olympics means to these guys, which is really cool to see. And then to see the heartbreak on their faces afterwards sucks too. Like they had the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, all in span of 25 minutes, maybe total in real time. Nick Suzuki getting that goal there, and then Mitch Marner getting the goal in overtime. He just kind of does that for Team Canada over the last year. So I didn't think Canada was going to get knocked out, but I'm glad that you can see that they are beatable. There is a inkling in them that, hey, if you can score 3-4 goals, you can hang with them. You can score on Bennington. You can score on these guys. You can score on their defense. You just got to go get into the nitty gritty and capitalize on the moments. And that's what the Czechs did for about 54 minutes. And then it didn't happen because they scored a minute 22 in overtime, and that sucks.
Yeah. And speaking of Czechia, one thing to just note, and this we'll talk about this next week as we get back into the Dallas Stars season, but it was confirmed today that Radek Faksa, he is okay with his upper body injury. They're probably expecting him to get back into the lineup with no issues coming back into that Dallas Stars season. He probably would have played in a semifinal game had Czechia advanced, but Canada was able to pull off that win in OT. So that's my one note when it comes to Team Czechia as they close out that chapter in Milan.
Yep. And Thomas Harley got the secondary assist there on the overtime winner for Mitch Marner, because of course he did.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Natural.
Did you see his quote? Did you see his quote after the game?
No.
He's like, I've been in game 7 overtime, which is not true. He's game 6 overtime. And he's like Winnipeg. Against Winnipeg last year, but he said game 7, I think, in the quote. And he's like, that was way worse. Like the heart and everything into it. Like, I can understand, like, an overtime Olympic game is probably going to mean more than a game 6 OT in the second round. So
yeah,
I wasn't offended by it, but I thought it was funny that he said game 7 and not game 6.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, last year I talked to Miko in the locker room, and it was after they had it was a few games after, into the round with the Jets. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even remember how many games they had like won. Like he made a comment to me like, "Oh, I forgot we won that game." Like he just it just didn't click in his head because I think they just move so fast that they just can't even keep up with what's going on sometimes, and they don't really think about it. So no surprise there with the game 7 for Thomas Harley.
I wonder if they have DiGiorno pizzas for him over in Italy. I think he's in a withdrawal period right now from his DiGiorno pizzas.
Hey, he might be getting some real fresh pizza over there in Milan. So it's you never know. Mm-hmm.
Italy pizza is so good. It's so much different. Another quarterfinal game, Finland versus Switzerland. It was 2-0 the entirety of this game. And I was like, are we really going out sad? Our Dallas Stars North, are we going out sad to Switzerland, who on this podcast we don't support because they banned Leon Bischel from their team because he was hurt.
True.
So
he was suspended.
I'm not going to be Switzerland in this. I am going to hate you. I'm not going to stand pat and right in the middle, Switzerland. Mm-hmm. So yeah, really wanted Finland to win this game. Luckily they did. 3-2 in overtime. Sebastian Aho gets a goal to make it 2-1 there in the third period. About 7 minutes left. Secondary assist from Esa Lindell. Not a big deal. Point scoring machine. Then you get Miro Heiskanen. Just an absolute snipe there to tie the game with a little over a minute left from none other than Mikko Rantanen and Roope Hintz as the primary assist there. You get a tie game, and then you go to overtime. And didn't take long again. Every overtime so far hasn't taken too long, which is terrifying that they're just scoring at will at 3-on-3 on smaller ice in the Olympics. But Arturi Lehkonen gets the goal there for Finland, 3-2. They move on. Finland versus Canada is now what we're left with in the semifinals.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad that it is Finland against Canada for that semifinal game. I think that worked out really great for the U.S., and we'll get into that game. Esa Lindell was also one of the assists on the OT goal for Finland, but it was crazy watching that game again down into the third period, and Finland is down 0-2, and they're able to get the climb back there, and it was a comeback victory for the Finns. And it's awesome to see that still those Dallas Stars guys in there were primaries on a lot of that. And Miro Heiskanen was a huge contributor. He's been a huge contributor throughout this Olympics. And we talked about that on the live stream yesterday, just what these guys have done. But you can't count out the Finns. They are the defending champs. They're coming for you. I keep saying this over and over again, but it's been great to watch them have that type of comeback victory.
And obviously, we're very partial to the Finns. We watch a lot of them in person all the time. We watch one of the best defensemen in the world in Miro Heiskanen, one of the best other defensemen in the world in Esa Lindell, and then all of a sudden you got Roope Hintz, Mikko Rantanen up top with Mikael Granlund, who we watched last year in person. So, like, we know this team very well, well-versed in Finland, but everyone and their mother was talking about Finland coming into this tournament. They're like, Finland's the dark horse here. I know everyone wants to talk Canada. Everyone wants to talk USA. Finland is the team to look out for, defending gold medal champs. Like, they're coming after another gold, and now they have all their NHL players to go along with it. You got Mikko, you got Roope, Aho, like no Barkov, obviously, but their team's stacked too. So good to see Finland move on. I don't think that they've played their best hockey necessarily in this tournament. So, like, if they do play their best hockey in this next game against Canada, that's terrifying for Canada. Speaking of Canada, Sidney Crosby got hurt. Talked about that on the stream. We got to figure out what we've talked about on the stream and still bring it back to the podcast. I think that's kind of a problem for us right now. We're trying to figure this out. But
there's so much going on. It's hard to keep up with. But have you heard specifically what that injury is yet, or any news? I have not.
No, so I saw some news this morning. John Cooper said he's not ruled out for the rest of the Olympics, and they don't know if he's going to play tomorrow or if he is, or today as you're listening to this on Friday. But he's still, like, potentially playing on Friday is what I've seen.
Okay, so we'll see. It's likely going to be one of those things that they call a game time decision. You never really know. You don't want to count out Sidney Crosby, one of the most elite athletes in the NHL of our generation. And who knows? You can't count him out. But I think it is going to be a tough game against the Finns regardless. Like I said, I'm glad those two are matched up. But we also talked about yesterday how there might be something that Nathan MacKinnon is dealing with. That's something that was brought up a little bit as far as where his speed was at. He did have, obviously, the looks that he had and the scores that he had. But that's one other topic of conversation we chatted about on the live stream.
Yeah, and fun fact, you can't play a game without a C on someone's chest. Someone has to be a captain. So if Sidney Crosby doesn't play, is it McDavid? And then you give McKinnon an A? Is that probably the course of action? I would assume that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. If he doesn't play.
I think that's up there. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that feels right, but we'll have to wait and see what happens today as you're listening to this, because we have no idea, because we're recording this in the past on Thursday. So not good. But last game of the quarters, the U.S. versus Sweden. We came into it, and I was like, I feel pretty confident. Sweden hadn't been that good. Like, it might be a little tough there the first period, maybe the first half of the game, 30 minutes. And then it just proved to be pretty hard the entirety of the game. Like, through almost 30 minutes, 29 minutes into the game, Dylan Larkin scores from Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes. The Hughes brothers combined for the assist on Dylan Larkin's first goal of the tournament. Good to see Larkin get in there. Everybody apparently loves him. After the game, everyone was talking about Larks. They call him Larks, and they say he's a great leader, does things the right way, this, that, and the other. You know, typical hockey speak. But they love Dylan Larkin. He gets that first goal. We're like, all right, now we're off and running. And off and running we were into chaos, because a minute and a half left in the third period, because Zibanejad scores for Sweden. And our reaction was very funny. There is a still on, I think, on my Twitter, or maybe on Clean Sheet Devices Twitter, of me and Savannah just
we were like shocked. We were shocked. People have been tweeting that one out. So real fun there. No, that was just such I almost feel like an odd game, just based on the fact that it was so back and forth. There were so many shots on net for each team. It was very just goal, like, you know, the shots on net and the goalies being able to make some really big saves. And what I like to see was Connor Hellebuck just really in his element, but also just how Sweden was able to hold their own throughout the game. And then they come back and have that goal there in the third period. Things get a little bit rocky, and then you know that you're going into overtime, and that's where the U.S. was able to really just get in there. They controlled the puck most of the time in that overtime. and you have a 3-on-3. And we talked about who they should have thrown out there to start off with, and it wasn't who scored that goal, but Quinn Hughes is able to put one in the net for Team USA and move them on to the semifinal.
Yeah, and it was just like it felt like a very typical Quinn Hughes move where he has a
Mhm.
little bit of speed, comes horizontal, stop, go the other way. Much like Mikko Rantanen when he gets on that right side with the puck and he does that little pirouette, kind of just 180, goes the other way and kind of leaves the defender in the dust. That's what Quinn Hughes does, but he keeps his feet moving the entire time. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. He's so fast. It's incredible. But he puts that shot. He's going left, sends the shot right off the crossbar, or off the post into the net. And what a celly too. What a celly from Quinn Hughes, who sees ghosts all the time. You never see him make any emotions on his face, basically. And he was fired up. Obviously, he wanted to play Freebird. Freebird starts going through the speakers. Everybody drops the gloves. Everybody's in on the ice. Jack Hughes just patting his head off the ice the whole time once they finally started to go back towards the boards was really
So
cool
good.
too. So hell of a moment for US there to move on to the semifinals.
Incredible. Quinn Hughes, he's the guy to do it, and he's been one of the, I would say, like, best players on this USA roster throughout the Olympics so far. And it's all going to come down tomorrow when the US plays Slovakia. So this is going to be a really big matchup for the US. Have a little bit of studying to do when it comes to this team against Slovakia, but they've been pretty outstanding throughout the Olympics, I would say.
Yeah, who's Slovakia's lost to? Do we remember?
We're gonna look.
Because they're only 2-1. Like they've only lost one game, and they beat Finland in the first game. Kind of beat them pretty handedly in that first game of the tournament for the men's side. So did they beat Sweden? Did they lose to Sweden? I don't know. I don't remember who was in that. It was Slovakia, Sweden, Finland, and somebody else in that group. France.
So they have beat Finland. They have beat Italy. They lost to Sweden. On Valentine's Day, and then they beat Germany in that quarterfinal. So they have had one loss throughout the tournament.
Yeah,
that was against Team Sweden.
Okay, there we go. And it was a 5-3 game, and there was a lot of worry about the goal differential there. And Sweden was up, I believe, 5-2, and they went empty net to get another goal for goal differential, and Slovakia scored at 5-3. So Slovakia moved on, won the state group. Yeah, they've been playing really well. Obviously, you look at the tournament results and you're like, all right, they score a lot of goals. They don't give up a ton of goals. The U.S. is going to have to earn that one. And we're just kind of wait and see. It's kind of like an unknown thing. There's not a ton of NHLers on that squad, but they are really good and they are very experienced. So should be a fun one, and we should be on stream. So like I said, you got to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode, never miss a live stream, never miss a happy hour. We would like for you to be in the live stream tomorrow. It's a big game, semifinals. Gold medal.
Massive game for the US. They could advance into Sunday morning. We hope that we can be part of that live stream if it does go into Sunday. But yeah, tomorrow's a massive game. Come watch it with us. It's going to be fun. And we're also going to see who it's going to be. Canada against
Finland.
Finland. So that's going to be a tough matchup for them. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, that's at 9:40 tomorrow, Texas time. God's time zone. People don't like to talk about it. 9:40, and then the U.S. play at 2:10. So that means we would go live at 2 from Clean Sheet of Ice, roughly. We'll be live right before the game, essentially right before puck drop. That's the plan for now. And the U.S. women just won gold, and it's time for the U.S. men to do the same. That's what I'm thinking.
Let's go. Let's do it. And you know what? There were a lot of U.S. men's players that came to watch this game against the women's team. We saw Quinn Hughes was there, lots of celebrities, everyone supporting Team USA. The USA crowd was rowdy today, so I can only imagine how it's going to be tomorrow against that semifinal.
I was a swimmer in college, and the week or two before our conference championship meet that we would have, that was kind of when we tapered down. It's a big championship meet. You shave, you get the tech suit on and all that kind of stuff. Like the 2 weeks leading into that, we would start practice off by visualization. So we'd go into the dark room in the office at the pool, at the natatorium, and our coach would like talk to us soft play, which never happened. That was shocking with like something on our eyes. So like you're visualizing, and I would fall asleep every time. But he's talking you through your race. He's like, all right, you're getting up on the blocks, you're taking your mark, here's the buzzer. And he would literally start his timer, and you would have to like visualize what strokes that you were taking into each lane or into each lap and everything. That feels like what the U.S. men were doing today at the U.S. Women's gold medal match, visualizing what it would look like to win a gold medal in America's colors, in that royal blue jersey with the red USA across your chest. I think they were visualizing a little bit. I think you got to feel the moment before you can go take the moment.
That's a really good way to look at it, and just like to put into perspective what these guys are seeing going into that game tomorrow, and just hopefully putting it into fruition. And they saw what the women's team can do today, and they want to be able to defend their country and go for the gold. So it's going to be, I believe, a great game tomorrow. I'm super excited for it. Come join us on the live stream. We're going to have some fun while we watch.
Yeah, shout out to Toby. I missed those naps that I would take during visualization. That was sick. It's like, no, never took a better nap than that. So yeah, that was a good time. I did it the first few times as a freshman, and then after a while you get so tired that you just kind of sack out for. But it was fine. But I hope those boys visualize the word. It's hard work. I'm struggling over here. What can you do?
Hey, you know what? We've been doing a lot of live streaming the last few days. It's been a lot, but we're happy to do it. It's fun.
It's been a lot of words that have come out of my mouth this week with Clean Sheet of Ice, with the live streams, with the Apollo NBA show, with Play Action Takes, our NFL show. Like, I've done them all this week. I did NBA show today. That episode should be out already on YouTube and everything. But yeah, we're doing a lot for Clean Sheet of Ice. It's been a blast, and we're going to do a lot come playoff time too. I'd like to do some live streams during the playoffs if the times aren't unreasonable. Maybe, I don't know. They're going to be unreasonable, but like the away games, well, 9 p.m. live stream, keep us awake a little bit more. The ring lights in my face, can't fall asleep. I don't know. That's scheduling problems for April.
We'll look into it. I think we just need we need some good energy drinks. That's what we need.
Yeah. So if you would like to sponsor this show, let us know. If you're an energy drink, an alcohol brand, snack brand, anything kind of brand, we'd love to promote your brand on Clean Sheet of Ice. So
we'll stay up late for the playoffs. That'll be great.
We're going to do it with or without you. We'd rather have you with us. That's what it happens. All right, Sav, that'll be it. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to go watch some hockey tomorrow. We'll be on a live stream tomorrow, Friday, 2 p.m. And today, as you're listening to this, sorry, I keep saying tomorrow. I'm not good at that yet. So Friday, 2 p.m. See you there in the chat.
See you there. Go USA.
All right. That'll do it. Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with a live stream and an episode, and maybe another live stream on Sunday. Who's to say? And then we'll have an episode on Monday. That'll do it. Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. See you very, very soon.